Hey, welcome back. So, we all have that one question. What happens next after BNMIT? What happens in the real world? Today, we are having a great discussion with one of the great alumni. Welcome, Mom.
Thank you, Bunny. I am Apoorva Arvind and I'm founder of Twaya.
How was your college life?
This is the place where my professional journey and professional career also began.
Can you just tell me the one thing that will motivate the women entrepreneurs?
My words would be to go ahead and take the plunge.
Mom, like you are working in different two sectors. One is AI and insurance. How is it to handle that now?
I must say that AI is the base for all my companies, to be honest.
Okay, now coming to your college life, what's the one thing that you miss in your college still now?
Miss my teachers, I would say, more than my friends.
We have a small surprise for you, Mom, today. Do you want to guess what it is?
No, it is a surprise. I don't know.
Today we'll be getting to know how the college life was there, how the IT world. We can clear all the doubt that we have regarding the IT world. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Mom, can you just give us a quick introduction? How was your college life? And about yourself, Mom.
Sure. So first of all, I must say that it feels great to be back here in BNMIT. This is the place where my professional journey and professional career also began 15 years ago. And it brings back a lot of good memories. So thank you for having me, Ibani.
Mom, can we get to know the self-introduction about yourself, what you're doing currently?
Sure. I am Apoorva Arvind and I'm founder of Twaya Technologies. Recently, I opened my second company, Risky Technologies, and just yesterday, I opened my first Indian entity here called Raka AI Technologies. So I'm happy to share this with you.
That's nice to know that, Mom, that you recently opened your new company. Mom, can you tell about your college days? How was it in BNMIT?
I wouldn't say it was easy, it was smooth. It was fun, but also challenging at the same time. There were ups and downs, but these challenges and these memories are what made me who I am today. So all in all, I would say that it was the best experience I had in my life. Unfortunately, I can't come back. Or fortunately, I can come back as an alumni and perhaps share some of my thoughts with the existing students and others who are interested.
Mom, what were you pursuing in your UG, Mom?
I was pursuing information science. By chance, I happened to pursue information science. I always thought I'll get into EC, but I had a very good direction from Narayan Rao Mane sir, who I went to meet and introduce, who guided me to look into or think about computer science and information science. Back then, it was a subject which was okay, but now when I look back, I realize it was the best decision I ever made.
Mom, can you give us a big picture about your startup company and the company which you work?
Yeah, sure. So I'll give a brief summary about my journey. I did my final year project at NIC, National Informatics Center, the nic.in, the websites that all the government entities use in India. It was my first proper professional job in India, and it was in public sector, so it was very, very different from what I had imagined from about the corporate sector. But this became my foundation for my journey in public sector. After that, I did my master's in public policy. After that, I did my master's in Brussels international policy, and I also did my MBA in risk management in Brussels University. So I studied a lot along the way. I also worked a lot along the way. I worked in Ramaya Public Policy Center. I worked in Mount Carmel College as a guest lecturer for policy research. And then I worked in German Marshall Fund for digital policy research. And finally, I moved to Netherlands with my husband. Because of the language barrier, it was very difficult to find a public sector job. Tech job was easy to come by, but that was not what I wanted. So I said, why don't I freelance? And Netherlands laws require all freelancers to be registered at single man company or sole proprietor. And from there, after registering a company, after working for a few months as a freelancer, I got a bit lazy. I said, why don't I automate some of my risk analysis work? I was working as a risk consultant, risk analyst basically. Why don't I automate some of my work? And from there, now we specialize in building risk technologies, and that same company has grown into a big group of 3 holdings. So
That's nice to know that, Mom.
yeah.
Mom, like you are working in different 2 sectors. One is AI and insurance. How is it to handle that, Mom?
I must say that AI is the base for all my companies, to be honest. That is where I come from. That is my background. Artificial intelligence, data science, information science, digital policy is my background. Only the way we work with other industries differ, and that has led to new products. For instance, we have created a smart claims risk assessment product software, or AI. That is still AI is still being coded at the moment. It is a software, and this has been functional, and we have been licensing it as Claims app. It's called Claims app for the last 2 years. And my pet project, that is ethical policy of AI, that is AI ethical assessment of machine learning models within companies. Because Europe has very strict privacy laws, we created this assessment for those companies who wants compliance. This compliance AI assessment is AI. This is another product that we have fully functional, and it is currently in testing phases, but we have a prototype ready, and we are looking into how we can make it better.
That's great, Mom. You're bringing new technology. Mom, like for the students, we all think marks are important. What do you think? Which skill matters more in the real world?
I 100% agree that marks are important. It is only through these marks that we can assess ourselves. But it is not the only thing that is important. There are other skills that are important along with marks. So we have to consider both academic performance and non-academic performance or extracurriculars for students, I must say. But I can be wrong. It depends on person to person, right?
Yes, Mom. As you were doing before the podcast for women, can you just tell me the one thing that will motivate the women entrepreneurs?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. So from my journey, what I can say is, especially for women who have some thought of entrepreneurship or who have some thought of starting their own company, my only single line for you is get out of your bubble. Take that first step. You can fail. Maybe you can take 3 steps back, but take that first step. Without starting, you'll never know where you will end up. So my words would be to go ahead and take the plunge.
Mom, as you started the new Raka Tech company, like in India, was there any difficulties or what are the challenges that you face in doing the new startup in India, Mom?
That's a very good question. Having set up companies both in Netherlands and in India, I would say that the process in Netherlands is very easy. However, when it comes to scaling up, India is a gem of a place. This is the place for startups to scale up. So both have their ups and downs, and this is how it works.
Okay, now coming to your college life, what's the one thing that you miss in your college still now?
I absolutely miss, maybe this is because I'm a foodie, I miss the canteen Mangalore buns. I hope that they're still there. But it used to be amazing back then, and I am a foodie. I remember food always. Sorry. So, apart from that, I really do miss my teachers, I would say, more than my friends, or more than my friends who I'm still in touch with. The one thing I cannot get, no matter what I do, is my lecturers and my professors who taught me, and it's hard to get that now for myself.
We have a small surprise for you, mom, today. Do you want to guess what it is?
No, it is a surprise. I don't know.
And we are getting you one of your favorite teacher in your college life to have a podcast with you.
Let me guess, is it Dr. Sarita ma'am?
Yes, mom, you are
Oh, my
right. She is here
God.
today to speak with you. Now we'll be giving over to the mom.
Hi Apoorva.
Hi Sarita ma'am,
Happy to meet
finally
you.
life comes a full circle, I
Yes,
must say.
It does. So, a few questions to Apoorva. And first of all, let me tell you that this is for a teacher to come back and talk to her student and mentee who has grown to such heights is overwhelming. And it's my privilege, I would believe, to be in this podcast to ask you a few questions. Okay? So I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting questions. Questions which could make you a little uncomfortable, but the whole idea is that Apoorva is in a position where she can advise a lot of students, and her journey and would actually inspire a lot of students, and that's the whole thing that I want to do. So my first question, Apoorva, I want you to tell me your engineering life. You would have experienced a few situations. Every student will experience it, I have seen. And it's for those students who feel at that time like, where am I going? What am I doing? They need that inspiration from you, seeing your life, seeing your journey, that yes, there will come a time where things will change for them. And they will see themselves in a position very high, and they'll come back and say, those were the days of which turned, or those points at the day, which turned my life. I'm sure you have those. I want you to explain those to students in your own way. You don't have to be very specific, but tell them that this will happen and that will change for the good. Even though at that particular time, it might not feel so good, right? So it's a hard question, but I'm sure that whatever you say will inspire my students.
This is a very wonderful question, I must say, because even though I have not yet spoken about this, this is something in every public talk I have given, every podcast I have taken from others, this is something I have mentioned, but not spoken about it in detail. Of course, I would be happy to address this. First and foremost, I must tell everybody that I was not in any way whatsoever the model student. The first 2 years was very challenging for me. I began the journey with information science, but all I was made to read was physics, mathematics, chemistry, civil engineering, and this was a huge challenge for me. Back then, I absolutely did not understand why we were made to study those. So, naturally, I pushed back. Naturally, I resisted and I said, I can't do them. I had a couple of backs. I was not in any way the favorite of teachers, or not favorite of even, I must say, even the staff, other office staff or others as well. And even to this day, I had a book where I had subjects written down. I recently got that book. It's a small Vidya notebook where I had teacher's name written and number of classes underneath that. Every time I went to a class, I crossed them off.
Okay.
And I attended those number of classes, which was only required for us. As I already said, I was a big foodie and BDA complex nearby. The rest of the class, I used to go to eat something and then go back home and take a big nap. And I was not happy with myself. My parents were not happy with me. They were trying to reach out and ask me, how can I help? And the teachers were absolutely happy with me not being in the class.
No, I don't think that
But
would work.
yes, absolutely. There was a point where I reached my 4th semester, and back then it was a VTU backed university. So I think after 4th semester, we cannot have carryover, which is more than 2 years old. And I had civil backlog. Civil was the most difficult subject for me, and I just could not get through that. And that is when I discovered the gem who's sitting right next to me. So she called me to the staff room. She sat down with me and she asked, "What is your problem?" This was the question I remember. What is your problem? I told her, I am not understanding any of this. I am not getting any of this that is being taught. I cannot focus for such long hours in the class. I get sleepy. I am not sure what is the issue. But this is something I'm feeling. I cannot study by myself. I was pretty much sure I will fail. So that's when she took up one subject that she was teaching, Sarita ma'am. You were teaching ADA at that time,
Yes.
4th semester, and
Design and analysis
algorithms. And then she said, next time, once your classes are over, why don't you come over to staff room? She taught me one concept, but she did not just teach me the concept. She taught me how to learn the concept themselves. Make flashcards, ask questions for yourself, take up last year's question papers and see what are the questions and write answers for them. Studying textbooks is not the solution all the time. Find ways which work for you. That was a game changer for me. I cleared my backlogs. I cleared the existing subjects all in one go, all in 4th semester. And then I realized what was my potential. She used to refer to me as Hanuman. I remember. Ninage nin strengths gottilla mari annoru yavaglu. She used to tell me that you don't know your own strengths. So that was a changing point for me. From then on, I started getting first class. 5th and 6th semesters were first class, and then 7th and 8th semesters was first class with distinction. And even after that, she became my guide, and she said, "You want to do a project in public sector? I will support you. Go ahead." Back then, working with MNC was considered a privilege, but working with a government entity where there is absolutely no external guidance, no external support was a very big challenge.
True.
And we were only 2 of us in the group. Not many were willing to join project group, which had to go out and work in a government building and go to Ambedkar Vidhi every day. It was a big challenge, but Sarita ma'am stood like a rock, supported us, helped us complete the project and implement it and execute it. That was what led me to where I am today. So this was my journey from, you can call it from rags to riches or from backlogs to distinction, but this is my story.
So Apoorva has actually done something which is a dream for most students. She has achieved the height of, it's easy to work under someone, I would say. She has achieved the heights of being an entrepreneur, which is what every student would aim for, every person would aim for. And not just of one company, but of 3 companies. So I'm very proud of you, Apoorva.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
And when you built your first company, what were the major one challenge, if you can tell me, that you faced? And then now you have one in India, which you have explained in a very subtle way what would be the problems you faced. But as a woman entrepreneur, what is the one challenge you faced abroad when you opened your first company? And what is the challenge you also faced as a woman entrepreneur when you opened a company in India? Because I feel you are inspiring a lot of girls who would want to start their own companies and who would probably work for some time in some company and then get over to this. And they will always have that question, can I? You have to tell them that you can. Okay.
I always tell that they can, but one of the biggest challenge was, I am an engineer, I am a policy researcher. How can I handle a company? And my husband, on the parallel side, coming from a very technical background and having program management experience of 15 years, used to flinch when I used to take my scrum calls.
Okay.
So these are some of the management skills with the team was a very big challenge for me. I'm used to working with a team, not leading a team, especially coming from a public sector. That was the biggest challenge I faced in the Netherlands. And the second biggest challenge was hiring.
Ah, yes.
Hiring required a different skill set altogether. And I was in no way aware of that. And I had to learn through hard way to hire, lose, and then slowly I realized how to find the right fit for the company. So as much as I learned, I must also give credit to you there. Every time I used to come here for hiring, because this is my comfort zone, you taught me a lot of things that I wouldn't have otherwise known. So one of the very important things I would tell the students is that don't ever think that once you're out of college, you are finished with college. There is a lot of things you learn. There are a lot of things you can experience, even being an alma.
So, coming to my last question. Mentor is important? Yes?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, would you also tell that you are ready to mentor your juniors? And how important is it that an alumni mentors their juniors?
Again, when you're talking about mentorship, I am going to divert back to the previous question you asked regarding women entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So, one thing I have realized with us Indians, when we go out of our country, is that we are raised to be humble. And somewhere in this bit to be humble, we want to be more humble. We want to show humility. We lose our confidence. And there is always that question. I finally have a very comfortable job, which is paying me very well. Why should I do something that has risk? Well, my company's name is Risky, because the message is that without taking that risk, without getting out of that bubble, like I said before, you will never know the potential that you can do or someone can do. So what I would say, especially to women entrepreneurs, is that don't get comfortable. If you're getting too comfortable for more than 1 year, you need to question yourself and you need to ask, I am too comfortable for 1 year in this place. Is my goal or is my vision and the comfortable bubble I am in matching? If not, it is time to break that bubble.
Good. Very good message.
So this would be my message.
And Apoorva has balanced just not being an entrepreneur with 3 companies. She's a mother of 2 very beautiful young daughters and taking care of family, and family also takes care of you. So I'm sure that you tell it's effort all over. Everyone in a family stands together to achieve. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yes. So you're a very proud. We are very proud in BNM of you and your achievements. Yeah. One last discussion, I would say, discussion point. It's not a question. The importance of a mentor and a mentee. The strength it has in building the mentee's future, right? That is one discussion point. And another one is how can the alumni guide the juniors or become a mentor to the juniors?
That's a very good point of discussion, I must say. Mentorship is very essential. From being in Netherlands, one thing I have understood is that mentorship is not beneficial only to the mentee, but also to the mentor.
Very true.
And that's when I realized in Netherlands that there are benefits which are much beyond just classrooms or just the setting, just the environment we are in. Let's say you're my teacher and I'm your student, you are my mentor. This does not stop here. This goes beyond college.
Yes.
You were the placement HOD and I had a company. So we were a match made in heaven.
Yes.
So it's just like that. It does not stop there. Mentorship is a lifelong journey, I would say. Even if you have graduated, for a very long time, because of my busy schedule or my events in life like children or any other college, I could not exactly connect back with my college often. However, I always made it a point to stay in touch with my guide, back then guide, now mentor, and placement HOD also, who told me that you're on the right path, believe in yourself, trust. So they know you, they really know you, they understand you. At the same time, as a mentor, I have also mentored a couple of them. I have mentored a couple of my juniors. I have mentored my own employees at some time. I can say that it's not one-sided, it is two-sided. I learned so much about the current world. It could be about their domain. It's a long-lasting relationship where both of them benefit. So I would definitely suggest that any alumni or even a student should always consider mentorship. Either being a mentor or being a mentee or being both at the same time.
Yes.
I'm your mentee and I'm a mentor to others. So this is something I really value. And I always say that I'm open to any questions on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn as Apoorva Kumar. Feel free to reach out, drop in and say, can we catch up for a cup of coffee? It's okay, I can pay for a cup of coffee. But the essence is that you make an effort to reach out and talk to them. Maybe they don't respond immediately. Maybe they can't talk to you immediately, but they will always have you in the back of the mind. This is something I learned, and this is how I built my network in Netherlands, and that became a solid foundation for my future clients and future customers. So this is my take on it.
Thank you, Apoorva. Thank you so much. And back to Ibini, thanks to Ibini because she's given me this opportunity to speak my student, my alumni.
Thank you, Sarita ma'am. Ma'am, how did you feel by speaking with your guide, ma'am?
I felt very nostalgic. It was an exciting and it was a great experience for me talking or being interviewed by my own mentor, guide, and one of my favorite lecturers also.
Ma'am, you have done your journey from a student to employee to an entrepreneur. Like, what's the one tool that every student should learn in the early stage of their UG and MBA? Like, can you tell me the tools that we need to learn more?
From my experience, I spent my time working in different domains. But one common thing I feel stands solid to even this day is to understand data and AI. So future is data. Data is the new gold. So irrespective of if you're from engineering, electronics, arts, science, I did my BA in international policy, MA in Masters in Arts and International Policy. So that even then was very useful. Whatever I studied was very useful because technology is the future of the world. And everybody must have a basic grasp or basic understanding of data, artificial intelligence, and technology, irrespective of which background they come from. So I would suggest to all students that they take up a course, any massive open online courses, MOOC courses on Coursera, edX, or any such platform to understand the basic fundamental concepts of data and artificial intelligence.
Now, there's a last question. How could you wind up this with one line about your journey with BNMIT and your current journey?
I have already told a lot of one-liners, but I would still add another one and say that I would suggest always keep in touch with your alma mater. That is where your personality was built. That is where you spent a crucial period of your career journey in. And that is the place where you learned before you began your professional career. So I would suggest always stay connected to your alma mater. It could be through the staff, it could be through the alumni network, or it could be through anything. But stay in touch is what I would say.
As you told before, you're foodie. Mom, before you go, try B&M Cafe. They have newly opened it.
Is it?
Yeah, Mom. The vada pav is so good. Just try it.
Wonderful. I will do that. Thank you,
Yes,
Ibani.
ma'am.
Thank you.
And have you, like before you told, you have mentioned you have 3 startups. Like if anyone from BNMIT approaches for your company to join, will you accept the proposal, Mom?
We are currently, raising funds for our startup, and Claims app, the insurance product which I told you, is soon in the future going to be scaling up. Not just in that sense, but even in the spirit of mentorship, I am always open to new connections, new network, new students, new people. I'm available on LinkedIn, like I said before, as Aravind Kumar. Anybody can just drop a connection or an invite, and I'd be happy to connect with them.
Thank you, Mom. Let's wrap it up. Thank you, Apoorva, Mom, for being with us and telling the real story and inspiring the students. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you, Bunny.
Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, adana cancel ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ.
Just this one, too.
What a good surprise.
I'm going to cut that. Adunnu very uncomfortable questions I'm asking.
Stay informed and
Yeah, that's a wrap.
stay tuned for more upcoming episode. Stay informed and stay authentic.